that this goes on, if Fedor were to meet Brock a year or two down the road, that's going to be that much worse for Fedor.
Now, one of the things that kind of irked me that Dana did was, he's been on our show before, and he basically said Tito Ortiz sucks now, and that's why he's out of the UFC, and he's not going to come back, and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, you see Tito back, and Dana's championing Tito again. What are your thoughts on Tito coming back, and is he as good as he once was, and do you even like Tito?
I don't know if Tito's as good as he once was. I spoke to Tito actually when I was in Dallas. And he and I we talked about his kids and just casual talking, but we talked about the back surgery that he had and how his training had suffered for so many years because he had injured his back. And now he's basically gotten things fixed and he's capable of training properly and all that kind of stuff. So I'm personally interested in seeing how Tito looks when he comes back. And, I don't know. I guess the relationship between Dana and Tito is a love-hate thing. Maybe Dana hates his guts, but loves the fact that he's good. He's good for the sport. He has a good fan base. He was the original bad boy of the UFC, and so we'll see. I mean, I'm curious. You put Tito in the octagon, and I'm going to watch the fight just out of curiosity. And I think there are a lot of fans out there that are like that. He draws attention.
Yeah, but what's your pick?
Well, not only that, but back to my original question that the politician Rich Franklin did not answer, and that is, Fedor versus Brock Lesnar in 30 days. What is your prediction?
Healthy Brock, healthy Fedor, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If I were a gambling man, I'd have to put my money on Fedor right now.
Now, is he that good? I mean, is he really that good, Rich? I mean, you know what you're looking for. I mean, you know the sport inside and out. You're a champion. I mean, what makes him so damn scary?
It's difficult to tell now because Fedor, first of all, Fedor hasn't been very active lately, and the quality of opponents isn't the same as it used to be several years ago when he was in Pride. But I mean, you're talking about a man that has basically fought and beat the who's who of all the Pride athletes. I mean, he's taken out top competition and oftentimes done it with ease. And he's strong. I mean, he probably doesn't bench a ton, but functionally the man just appears to be very strong in the ring and all around just well versed in pretty much every yard. I mean, heavy hitting hands and good takedown and good takedown defense and for a heavyweight, moves really well. He moves like a guy that's on a much lighter frame.
Do you think Rich is familiar with our buddy Marcus Jones, Brent?
Oh, he's on the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, and he's made it to the next round.
Right.
He's the one winner for Rampage.
But he's the one winner from Rampage. A real tall black guy. Used to be a Buccaneer. He's from Tampa. Trains at Rob Kahn's place, Gracie, Tampa. And I didn't know if you had an opportunity to see him or not.
No, actually, to be real honest with you, I have not watched a single episode of The Ultimate Fighter this year.
It was awesome. He caught he was the one because Rampage was 0-7 at the end of the first round, and he won the one fight that Rampage won was Marcus Jones.
What's your thought on Kimbo? I mean, is he a YouTube phenomenon and only that? I mean, I know that he's part of the Ultimate Fighter, and what Brent, his first match he had on CBS was like 14 seconds.
Yeah, Seth Petrozzulli knocked him out with a jab, and then
of course he's this urban legend. They called him the YouTube champion. I didn't know if you had an opinion about that, Rich.
Well, I don't know if you guys have read any of the stuff that Kimbo has actually written online. Like some of his blogs and some of the tweets that he sent out and all that kind of stuff. But, I've never met Kimbo, and so you get what you see on TV. And much like you guys, I see things, and I think to myself, like, man, what a douchebag! Just because of the way he was marketed, coming from YouTube and street fighting and all that stuff. And then I read the things that he writes. And I realized that, I mean, honestly, Kimbo is nothing like the way that they marketed him. From what he writes on his blog, he's a really intelligent guy, and I think that Kimbo understands his deficiencies. He's a great athlete, and I think, and much like Brock, he understands his deficiencies. And I think that the longer he's in this sport, the more it'll pay off for him. And it's with that kind of attitude, and he seems to have the right kind of attitude. I think that he'll end up making some changes.
Yeah, I agree. Kimbo's a guy that, he's a badass, but everybody else built him up as this badass. He didn't really build himself up as a badass. It was everybody around him. So he just wants to learn, and he wants to fight, and he wants to do better. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to get better. And I don't think you can fault a guy or hate a guy for wanting to get better and succeed. He didn't have to go to the UFC. He chose to.
He got pushed into a public persona that I don't know if he necessarily wanted, or if he had people that convinced him that it was a good idea and he decided to run with it. and you know, maybe in his heart of hearts,
Hootie Yellow.
You know what? I need to be true to this sport, and I need to fix some stuff. And so basically, I mean, from the stuff he's writing, it sounds like that's the path he's going to take, and he understands the work that he needs to put in order to become a good fighter.
Hey, Hogan, you there? Hogan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
UFC former champion of the world, Rich Franklin, is on the phone, and he grew up a Hulkamaniac. Hold on, what's he doing now, Brett?
He's putting on his headphones.
Giving him headphones.
Bro, Rich Franklin's a bad man, brother.
Have you ever seen him before? I know you've seen him
hell
fight.
Yes, God, I was.
Wait a minute. Hulk Hogan really knows who I am. I want to make this clear.
No, brother, I do, man. I'm a huge fan of yours, brother.
Rich Franklin, the white boy out of Cincinnati.
I just wish you'd make the switch and get in the wrestling business. We'd make some serious money, brother.
He might need to because he's getting all banged up and shit.
You know who else? You know who else was a huge Hulkamaniac? Was Tito Ortiz.
We just talked about him.
He came to me. He came to me at the bash of the beach when I was fighting Vader.
Right.
And you know we were outside on the beach wrestling as a whatever it was, WCW pay-per-view.
Right.
And he came to my trailer and he was saying, "Oh man, I want to get into wrestling. I want to do this." And he was a huge Hulkamaniac, but he had this passion for that MMA stuff, you know.
Right.
So I said, "Well, you go try that, brother. And you know, if you love that, you know, you got to follow your heart. But if not, and you're as intense." I mean, when I was talking to him, his eyes were as big as saucers.
Right.
I said, "I don't know what kind of gas you're on, bro, but bring that intensity to you know, the wrestling ring. We can make some money."
That's how most of Hogan's conversations turn out. I don't know what kind of gas you're on, brother.
But I'm a huge, you know, Rick Franklin mark, brother. Believe me.
Rich Franklin is one of the very first MMA guys ever to come into our studio. And remember when Jimmy Jam?
That was one of the classic moments ever on this show.
Rich, out of all the times you've been on the radio, that's probably one of the most memorable times when you had some fucking sodbuster try to challenge you. Remember that?
Oh, he's choking him out.
I still have fans come up to me and talk to me about that particular episode of your guys' show.
Yeah. Hey,
I'll tell you, every time I come in there, you guys are doing something to me. Here, let's put Rich in this chokehold and see if he can.
Rich, are you single, brother, or are you married?
He's married, I think.
I'm married right now.
Because I just got divorced. I just got divorced, and I walked in here about 20 minutes ago, and they had 4 of the hottest Brazilian chicks with a big breast and those butts that are so big they look like they're on their back, you know.
But unfortunately,
they were all young and they were just stiff as hell.
Unfortunately,
you know
Rich,
what? I keep hearing about all these good-looking women in his studio, and every time I'm down there, it's me in a cockpit.
And every time he comes out, we ask him to choke out some dude.
Hey, you know what? These girls are stiff.
Put your arms around this guy for me.
These girls are stiff, but I think since Bubba's been married so long now, he's losing game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
I've been all pent up like a dog in the house. I've just jumped the fence in the backyard, and I'm bringing my 56 years of wisdom to the Bubba Army to smarten them up on how to get down and get crazy.
Rich, you actually make it to Tampa because you have some in-laws down here. The next time you make it down here, give me a couple weeks' notice, man. I would love to take you over to Hogan's house, man.
Hey, honestly, the last time I was in Tampa,
for sale.
I went to your guys' show. So the next time I'm down there, you guys will know, and I'll come in studio.
We'll bring you over to the Clem Gym. We'll train you at the Clem Gym, and then we'll go over to fucking Hogan's house, hop on the boat, and drink some beers and have a good old time.
I don't have a boat anymore.
I'll get you a boat, Hogan, you chicken sandwich motherfucker. You know I will.
Oh, you better hurry up. It's getting cold out there. Hey, anyway, Mr. Franklin, I'm a huge fan. Keep doing your thing. And the only reason I came in here to say goodbye is I had to fess up to Brent. Because I went in his office and stole 2 candy bars.
Hey, Rich.
That's all good.
Rich, all Hogan does is when he comes here is he goes salvaging around looking for protein bars and he steals all of our shit.
Well, then I guess that's what I need to do so that I can be built like he is, man.
Hey, the only one that's got good stuff is Brent. And if you go right above his chair, right up over your head, there's a little cabinet. He keeps all the goodies in it.
You should have seen the Colombian bitches in here. We're like, hey, have you heard of Hulk Hogan? Yeah, we've heard of Hulk Hogan. So they won't show the titties. They won't do nothing. They're a bunch of cunts. And then Hogan walks in. And all of a sudden, we're yesterday's news, and they act like it's a paparazzi. They start taking pictures with Hogan. He gets all the sluts.
Oh, Bubba was on one about giving oral, and then he goes, "How about Hogan?" She goes, "Oh yeah." And then they wouldn't give the ass up, and then Bubba get him to switch gears on that. But it's pretty crazy, brother.
Is there any place that you can go where people just don't know you?
No, nowhere.